G'day, Chris here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this sweet as cup holder. If you watch my gaming table build, around the inside and outside are these metal rails that I can attach magnetic attachments. And really the quintessential add-on for this table is the cup holder. And as you can see, it can clip on both the inside and the outside. It's held in really securely with some strong neodymium magnets, so you're not going to lose your drink in a hurry. The cup holder itself has a small little metal cup insert, but this can be taken out to leave room for stemware. So it's good for cans or glasses of wine. Right, this is going to be a short video, so let's get into it. Right, the first thing we need to do is make a pattern. And I like to make my patterns out of 6mm or just under 3/4 inch MDF. The reason for that is it's quite thin and it's nice and easy to shape. You can sand it nice and smooth without much need for complicated tools. I've also printed to scale the cup holder we're going to make. So we're going to glue that onto our MDF and cut that out. Let's get into it. So actually we'll start off with just roughly cutting this out. Next up, we need to glue the pattern to the MDF, and I'm just using a glue stick here as it's nice and easy, and I'm making sure to get the glue right up to the edge of the printout. Then when the glue was dry enough, I could take the MDF over to the bandsaw and roughly cut out around the pattern. With it roughly cut out, next we need to smooth out the rough edges. And depending on what tools you have, you might use a file or a rasp. You might use a spindle sander. Or a linisher or belt sander. Or even just basic sandpaper. Basically use whatever you've got to sand down those surfaces to meet your printout and be nice and smooth. And in no time at all, you've got a perfect template for your router to follow. After sorting out the template, I planed a few small pieces of white oak down to 17mm or roughly 2/3 of an inch. Then I took them over to the crosscut sled and cut a nice edge that will eventually be the back of our cup holders. Using a scrap piece of wood to keep the pattern flush with the cut I just made, I can transfer the pattern to the cup holder to be. Then it's off to the bandsaw to roughly cut them out. We want to cut as close to the lines as possible because this will mean less work for the router bit later on. And given how small these pieces are, that will also make handling them a little less sketchy too. And I should have mentioned, I'm making 5 of these because the metal cup inserts I bought come in packs of 5. With all 5 cut out, we can use our pattern to clean up the rough saw marks. I'm using some strong double-sided tape to hold the pattern in place, and honestly, you don't even need that much. These 4 little squares hold the pattern really well and are even a bit of a pain to get off when you're done. Moving over to the router table, I'm using a 1/4 inch flush trim bit from Katz Moses, which I think makes it a bits and bits bit. Regardless, it did a really good job here. Using the router table with a small workpiece always feels a little bit sketchy, so always be super careful in these situations. And one thing I should have used in retrospect is a router table pin, as this gives you a little bit more control when you first present your workpiece to the router bit. Another thing to be super aware of is your grain direction, especially when cutting curved surfaces, as the grain direction will change, and when your router bit suddenly starts trying to cut against the grain, you can get a catch, which can be dangerous and quite scary. After trimming the workpiece to the pattern, we can now pop the pattern off using a putty knife, and you can see here how well the pattern was attached. And sometimes the glue scum is a little hard to get off, but that's nothing a little sanding can't deal with. And speaking of sanding, with the shape finalised, I can take the cup holders over to the belt sander and give the edges and the flats a light sand before moving on. Obviously, I can't get to the inside of the cup holder with that big machine, so it's over to the spindle sander to finish sanding the inside. We have the main shape now, but it looks a bit boring, so it's back to the router table to give all the cup holders a quick chamfer, avoiding the back. Adding a chamfer makes them look a little bit more refined and not just a flat piece of wood. Next up, it's time to drill the holes for the magnets to hold the cup holder in place. Drilling into end grain can be a little tricky as your drill bit can tend to wander around, so I like to make some sort of jig to ensure the hole is drilled precisely in the right place, and if I'm making multiple pieces with the same holes, it saves on measuring. In this instance, I 3D printed a small jig, but you could just as easily make something out of wood and use a blue tape trick to make sure you don't drill too deep. I also pre-drilled the screw holes that will hold the magnets in place. Not doing so risks splitting the wood when you do screw the screws in. Before screwing the magnets in, I'm going to apply some finish, and in particular I'm going to use Rubio Monocoat. I use Rubio for almost all of my projects because it's super easy to apply. After mixing the oil and the hardener, you just work it into the workpiece with a beige Scotch-Brite. Then after waiting about 5 minutes, just buff off all the excess oil until nothing further comes off. And that's it. Finally, we can attach the magnets, simply screwing them in place. I'm using a screwdriver instead of a drill so I don't accidentally over-tighten the screws and split the wood. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Really, the technique of making a template out of some small MDF is pretty quintessential to a lot of projects. So even if you don't have a gaming table that you need to make a cup holder for, hopefully the technique is useful to you. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.